Hello and welcome to the next lesson in the series, Master the Elastic Stack, all you need to get started with the Elastic Stack. We are covering how to start using Kibana to understand the data that you send to the cluster and walk through the interface and explore the features and how you can start using them. We'll explore things like navigating the interface, creating visualizations, building dashboards, and dive into analytics and look at some management tasks. One of the learning objectives of this course is to be able to understand the data ingested into Elasticsearch with visualizations and dashboards. So we'll jump into the demo and we'll log into Kibana. This is the login page for Kibana, and as we mentioned before, Kibana is the graphical user interface you use to manage the cluster and manage the data on the cluster and create dashboards to be able to understand the data. So we're going to log in with the Elastic super user. This is the home page of Kibana. When you first log in, you'll find the four major areas that Elastic Stack focuses on: the search, the observability, security, analytics. They are all links to access the most commonly used features such as like dashboards and visualizations, and other helpful links that will take you to some management tasks at the bottom of the screen here, or you can upload a file to start exploring data or try some sample data. And all of these links are available from the side menu. And at the top we have a search bar where you can search any app or feature or an index or a setting. And while we're here, I'm just going to the advanced settings. I'm going to look for one setting to use. It's the dark mode. I'm going to enable that. And at the bottom, I'm just going to click save and reload the page. And this is how I like to use my Kibana interface. And if we go back quickly to advanced settings, just under management, stack management, and under Kibana here on the left, we have advanced settings. We have a search bar here that we can search the settings, or you can start navigating them and look for the settings. But I'm going to mention 2 or 3 important ones. The default route is where you set the landing page when you log into Kibana. For example, here we are landing at the home page where we landed before. You can change that to a custom dashboard that you want to see the first thing when you log into Kibana. You have these time filter quick ranges here. This is where you click on the time range when you are looking at the dashboard or at the Discover app when you are looking at the logs. You can set custom ones if you want, for example, have one for yesterday or for this month or last month. You can create those custom ones instead of other ones that you don't usually use. Now if we go back to the home screen and access analytics here, this is where we can start building dashboards and visualizations. We can access the Discover app where you can look at the logs or the documents, and you can do more custom visualizations and create maps and build some machine learning models and detection rules. Or you can access analytics from the side menu. You have the same thing, Discover and Dashboards and Canvas. And you have the Visualize library where you can go to all the visualizations created. So we'll access the Visualize library, and I'm just going to turn off my camera here. And there are some visualizations created already and loaded from FileBeat when we connected FileBeat to Kibana. They don't necessarily have any data because they are waiting for specific data sources. So I'm going to create a visualization, and I'm going to pick this lens tool here. It's a drag and drop tool. And the most important things here is to select the index that has the data you need to visualize and the timestamp or the time filter. Right now we're looking at today. or the last 22 hours, so from 12 a.m. all the way to the current time, and we can change it to the last 30 minutes or hour or whatever you need to see. And here on the horizontal axis, I'm going to pick date histogram, and I'm going to pick the timestamp, and it is going to select the time interval as auto. It will adjust automatically. And then on the vertical axis, I'm just going to keep it simple. We have many functions. If you need to look at the average of something, or the count, or the minimum or maximum, I'm just going to keep it simple and select count. And by default, it's looking at the count of records, or the count of logs that are coming from the firewall. Or we can drag and drop the fields here. It's already selected by default. And we can break them down. For example, I know of a field called source name. It's the source name of devices in my home network. So now it's looking at the top 3 values, and the rest are grouped under other. If you don't want to see the other, you can go to advanced here, select or turn off this option, group remaining values as others. So now it's looking at only 3 values or 3 source devices, and it's breaking the count of records by these 3 devices. I'm going to increase this number to see the top 8 devices. These are all on my home network. If we want to save it, give it a title, and we can add it to a dashboard. We can add it to an existing one or a new one, or just no dashboard. We can add a description, and we can add tags if you want to group them based on tags. I'm just going to save to the library, and now we have this visualization that we can see here. I'm going to create another visualization, and this time I'm going to choose one of these aggregation based visualizations, and from here we have more options to create areas and heat maps and data tables. I'm going to choose this tag cloud, and it will ask you to choose a source. I'm going to choose the FileBeat index. Aggregation is, I'm going to choose count or keep it as count. Under buckets here, I'm going to be breaking them down based on a term, and I'm going to say destination autonomous system organization name. Click on update, because it's by descending order, the top 5 destination organization autonomous system organizations, and these are the top 15 autonomous system organizations my home network is connecting to. And we have some options here for the visualization itself. For example, the color palette, the orientation. So I'm going to save that and give it a title. I'll just add it to a library without a dashboard. We're going to be adding a dashboard next. So from the left menu here, I'm going to access dashboards under analytics. And we have all these built-in dashboards that are loaded from FileBeat. They don't have any data. They're waiting for specific data sources, but we're going to create a custom dashboard. This is a new dashboard. We can create visualizations from here and access that menu to create a visualization, or we can add from the library. We're going to add our custom created ones. The first one, I called it count of records, and the second was destination autonomous system names. I'll close this menu, and now I have these 2 visualizations. I can change the size, I can place them where I need them, and click on save. I'll give it a name, firewall logs, and I'll select this option to store the time with the dashboard. Now from here, I'm going to create a visualization. It'll open the same lens tool. From here, I'm going to select a table. So I'll start with metrics. I'm going to select count. I need to look at the count. Right now in the last 3 hours we have 49,000 records or logs. I'm going to select source IP for the rows, and we are looking at the top 5 source IPs. And if I access here advanced and get rid of the other, I'll have the top 5 source IPs with the count of records they are generating. And from here I'm just gonna save and return, and it will add that table to my dashboard. And I can also adjust the size of this table and click on save. And now I can click on switch to view mode, and the tools to add visualizations from library and create new visualizations will disappear, and now we have this view for our dashboard. Alright, let's jump into one of the most powerful tools in Kibana, the Discover app. This is where you can explore your logs, search through your massive indexes, and start your investigations. Whether you're troubleshooting issues, analyzing patterns, or filtering data, the Discover app is your go-to place for diving into the details. To get started, let's head over to the Discover tab under Analytics. You can access it from here on the main screen or main homepage, or from the side menu under Analytics and Discover. So I'm just going to click on Discover right here. And the first things first, let's talk about the index pattern. Kibana needs an index pattern or a data view to know which Elasticsearch data set to show here. We'll choose here file beat. This is my data from my firewall, and now we have a context or a data set that Kibana is able to fetch and display on here. Next, let's set the time range. Kibana filters data based on time, which is super helpful when you're looking for specific events. You can click on the time picker here in the top right corner, and we have some predefined ranges like the last 15 minutes, last an hour, last 7 days, or you can set a custom range if you know exactly when the issue occurred. You can click here and you can choose the date, the hour. I'll choose, for example, December 8 at 12 a.m. to December 8, 5 a.m. And now I have a custom time range. I can look for data that happened during that time. And another cool feature here is you can stream the data in real time, almost real time, and you can refresh every few seconds or maybe every minute, or you can turn it off and refresh whenever you need. Now let's talk about searching with the search bar. At the top here we have a search bar to look for specific words, phrases, or fields. We can search a word, for example, like warning, and Kibana instantly filters the results for us. Or if you want to get more precise, you can search specific fields and values. For example, we can say log level, and it will auto-populate with whatever values are available for that field. You can choose that. You can add operations and or logical operations, or if you're looking for a specific source IP or a destination autonomous system organization name, we can hit enter, and now it filters everything that is going to that autonomous system organization. On the left side here, you'll see the fields list. This shows all the available fields in your logs. For example, the event action, the source IPs, network application, and all of these fields, and they have their own search bar so you can find the fields that you're looking for. And if you click on one of the fields, you can see the top results or top values that are in that field. And from here you can click the plus sign to create a filter up here, and now it filters the data that are with this value for event action accept. Or you can click the minus, it will negate that value, so everything other than accept. And with these fields you can click this plus sign here and add them to the view here and start building columns or a table. Every field you select is added as a column. If I want to look at denied traffic, I can click on the plus sign and create a filter for deny. And let's say I want to filter for SMB traffic. And now I have this view. And if you want, you can save this search by clicking here on save and giving it a title. And now if you come back to the Discover app and you want to open that search again, you can click here on open and search for that saved search, and it will populate those columns again and those filters added here again. And then when you see a log entry that interests you, you can click on it to expand it. This opens a detailed view with all the fields and their values for that specific log. You can even copy or export this data if needed, or you can view it in JSON format and you can copy this view as well. To recap, Kibana's Discover app is perfect for viewing and searching logs in real time, filtering data using time, fields, and values, exploring detailed information for troubleshooting, saving and sharing searches to streamline your investigations. And this is where you usually start exploring your data before you create visualizations and building dashboards. Now let's jump into another main service that the Elastic Stack offers, the search capabilities. This is where Elasticsearch shines as a search engine. Whether you're powering a website, an intranet, or an application, it's fast, powerful, and customizable, exactly what Elasticsearch was built for. At the Elastic Stack core, Elasticsearch is a full text search engine that can process huge amounts of data and return relevant results in milliseconds. You can use Elasticsearch to search documents, websites, product catalogs, or logs, anything that involves text or structured data. Think of it like Google, but built specifically for your data. You can start building a search experience from this link here at the home screen or from the side menu here under search. First, you need to index your data in Elasticsearch. This could be articles, blog posts, products, or any documents you want searchable. Then you can test and fine-tune your search queries directly in Kibana. You can use all of these methods to ingest your data into Elasticsearch. Then you can test and fine-tune your search queries directly in Kibana. Kibana allows you to analyze how searches are performing, tune relevance, scoring, and improve the user experience. And some of the use cases is a website search, for example. Like for an e-commerce store, Elasticsearch can deliver fast and relevant product search results. For an intranet site, Elasticsearch makes internal documents and knowledge bases easy to search and navigate. And for apps and services, you can add real-time search capabilities to provide a seamless user experience. To recap, Kibana makes it simple to work with Elasticsearch as a search engine. You can index your data, test your queries, and optimize the search experience to make your site or app fast, efficient, and user-friendly. Now we'll look at observability in Kibana. This is one of the most powerful features in Kibana. This is where you can monitor and troubleshoot your systems in real time by consolidating your logs, metrics, application traces, and system availability. If you're running applications, websites, or infrastructure, this is your go-to place for operational insights. Observability is all about having visibility into your systems. With Kibana's observability section, you can bring together data from multiple sources like servers, applications, databases, and network devices all in one place. Instead of switching between different tools, you get this single unified view for your operations. Here's what you can do in the observability section. You can view and search logs from all of your systems in one place. Currently, I don't have any data in the logs. I'm not monitoring any systems. My Filebeat is running to ingest Fortinet syslogs, but it's not actually monitoring the logs of any system. But here you can filter by time, severity, or keywords to investigate issues quickly. Here under infrastructure, you can monitor the health and performance of your infrastructure, like the CPU usage, memory, disk input output, or network traffic. We have APM or application performance monitoring. You can trace the flow of your application requests to identify bottlenecks, errors, or latency issues. Again, I don't have any data being monitored right now. It's just a very clean install. And we have the uptime monitoring under this section here called synthetics. This is where you track the availability of your systems or websites with instant alerts if something goes down. So why is observability important? It helps you detect issues faster, whether it's a slow query, a high CPU spike, or a system outage. And you get end-to-end visibility from backend servers to front-end applications. And it lets your team work collaboratively to resolve incidents quickly. You can jump from logs to metrics or from an error trace directly to the related logs, all in just a few clicks. And with observability, you can move from reactive troubleshooting to proactive monitoring. It's all about having the right data at your fingertips to keep your systems running smoothly. Now we're going to talk about another important section in Kibana, security. In today's world, the cyber threats are everywhere, and protecting the infrastructure is not optional. Kibana's security section is designed to help you prevent, detect, and respond to threats across your environment, all in one unified interface. So you can access security here. Here is just a welcome screen to this section. My current plan is basic, so it's the free license. I don't have many of the features, but we can dive into dashboards. This is where you can see or get a high-level overview of your security posture, including threat trends, system activity, detected anomalies. And you have the rules section here. Kibana comes with hundreds of pre-built rules for identifying suspicious activity, like failed logins or unexpected file changes, and you can create your custom rules as well. You can also get alerted in real time for any incidents. There's also the cases section here. This is where you document and track incidents from discovery to resolution. You can assign tasks to team members and keep everything organized in one place. In timelines here, you can visualize and correlate events, investigate suspicious activity, and piece together the story of an incident quickly and effectively. In the intelligence section here, this is a licensed feature. This section helps you leverage threat intelligence feeds. So if you have a license, you can get indicators of compromise, IOCs like malicious IPs and domains and file hashes and all that. And in the Explore area, this area provides a flexible way to dig deeper into your data. So with Kibana security, you can prevent attacks proactively, detect threats in real time, and respond quickly and effectively to incidents. Alright, let's move into the management section of Kibana. On the homepage here, I'm going to scroll to the bottom, and there are a few links here. This is where you fine-tune Elasticsearch, manage users, monitor your stack, and deploy integrations, and manage the index lifecycles and more. We have a link here for DevTools and the stack management, and we can also access them by the side menu here under management. And first, let's go to DevTools. This is where we can run queries, test out index configurations, and troubleshoot directly using the console. It's a powerful space for developers and admins to interact with Elasticsearch in real time. For example, we can run cat queries or the compact and aligned text queries. These are human readable API commands used to get cluster health, node status, index stats, and other essential information. For example, we can run the command get cat health. We can click the play button here to send the request, or press Ctrl Enter on the keyboard, and we can have some information at the top here, but we can add some parameters here, for example v for verbose. And if I zoom in, for example, this is the timestamp, the cluster name, the status of the cluster is green, how many nodes we have, how many shards, how many primary shards. Next is integrations. Integrations is where you add monitoring for services like Nginx and AWS or Azure. It is plug and play, making data collection seamless. We have Fleet. This is where you manage all your Elastic agents across different environments. Agents collect data from your systems and push it to Elasticsearch. And we will be covering Fleet in an upcoming video. We have OS Query. This is a powerful tool for endpoint visibility. It lets you query operating systems as if they were databases. And you can ask questions like what processes are running, are there any open ports. It's perfect for investigations and auditing directly within Kibana. We have the monitoring section. You get a complete view of Elasticsearch, Logstash, and Kibana's health. Metrics like cluster status, disk usage, memory, all in here. And in a future video, we'll be covering monitoring Elasticsearch nodes with FileBeat and MetricBeat. And at the bottom here, we have stack management, the core for configuring Elasticsearch itself. From here, you manage index patterns, ingest pipelines, cross-cluster applications, index lifecycle policies, manage users, and configure Kibana data views. This management section is packed with tools that help you fine-tune and maintain Elasticsearch and Kibana. Whether you're building new queries, managing users, or monitoring cluster health, this section is essential for any admin or engineer working with the Elastic Stack. In this video, we took a look at how to start using Kibana to understand the data ingested in your cluster. We created some example visualizations and a dashboard, and we looked at the main features of the interface. Up next, setting up cluster monitoring. Stay tuned, and I will see you in the next one.